Most people will never get rich, not because they don't earn enough. It's because they're following the wrong rule. Today, I'm breaking down the 100K rule nobody talks about. Stick around. Hey, I'm Jax. For the last 5 years, I've studied exactly how regular people like you, actually build real wealth. Not theory, real wealth. And there's one rule everyone's missing. Look, I've been broke. I've been confused about money. I've made stupid financial decisions that kept me stuck. But I also studied what separates the people who build generational wealth from those who stayed trapped their entire lives. And it all comes down to one mathematical rule that changes everything. If you're serious about your financial future, hit like and subscribe right now, because these next 25 minutes will literally change your thinking about money forever. I'm not being dramatic. This is how important this is. Let's go. Myth number 1. Getting rich is about making big money. Wrong. Dead wrong. I know people earning 6 figures who are financially destroyed. 6 figures a year, and they're living paycheck to paycheck. Why? Because it's not about what you earn, it's about what you actually keep. Your salary doesn't build wealth. Your discipline does. Myth number 2. Just save everything in a savings account and wait. Your money will grow. That's also wrong. Your money in savings is losing value every single month. Inflation eats it alive while you're sleeping. You're actually getting poorer while thinking you're getting richer. It's genius from the system's perspective. Terrible for you. Myth number 3. You need a massive income to build wealth. Listen, I've seen millionaires on average salaries and broke 6-figure earners. The income is not the variable that matters. It's what happens with that income. It's the discipline. It's the consistency. It's understanding the rule that actually works. That's what we're breaking down today. Look, I'll be honest with you. Years ago, I made decent money. 3-4 grand a month. You know what I had at the end of the month? Nothing. Zero. Bills took everything. I was working just to break even. The cycle was brutal. Wake up, work, check my bank account, stress. That was my entire life, every single day. And I wasn't alone. Over 60% of Americans don't have $1,000 saved for emergencies. 60%. That means if you lost your job today, in 30 days, you'd be in real trouble. Hungry, stressed, maybe borrowing just to survive, maybe telling your family you can't pay rent. I get it because I lived it. The worst part? I wasn't doing anything illegal or irresponsible. I had a job. I paid my bills. But I was trapped in what I call the income treadmill. The higher my salary went, the more I spent. It's like a curse, man. You make 2K, you spend 2K. You make 3K, suddenly you're spending 3K. Your lifestyle expands with your income, and you never actually build anything. That's the game the system wants you to play, and almost everyone loses. But here's the thing. There's a way out, and it's not complicated. It's not sexy. It's not going to make you rich overnight, but it's reliable. It's mathematical. And if you follow it, you will build wealth. That's a guarantee. Here's what kills me about this. 90% of people earning over 100K annually are still terrified they could lose it all. 90%. 6-figure earners lying awake at night, stressed about money. Meanwhile, the average American retiring at 65 has less than 100 grand saved. That's supposed to last 20, 30 years with no paycheck, no backup plan. Pure stress. Here's what's wild, though. If you invested just $300 a month for 30 years at an 8% average return, the historic S&P 500 average, you'd have over $470,000, just $300 a month. Consistency beats everything. But wait, it gets better. If you started with $500 a month instead of $300, you'd have over $780K in 30 years, more than $750,000. from a starting salary of maybe 24K a year. That's the power of this rule. That's why we're talking about this today. Let me make this concrete, because abstract numbers don't change lives. Real scenarios do. Say you make $2,000 a month. After bills, rent, food, utilities, insurance, all that stuff, you've got $500 left over. Real money, your own money. You take that $500 and instead of spending it on something temporary, you invest it consistently every single month. First month, you've got $500. Great, tiny step forward, but you did it. 3 months in, you're at about $1,500. Still not impressive, I get it. You're thinking, Jax, this is going to take forever. Yeah, it will. But that's the point. Wealth doesn't happen fast. It happens consistent. 6 months, you've got roughly $3,000. That's starting to feel like something real. You can feel it. You made that. In a year, you're at about $6,200. Your first benchmark. You didn't earn that extra 6K. You built it. Your money started working for you. That's when the mindset shift happens. But here's where most people quit. Year 1 feels slow. They see $6,000 and think, this is too slow, I need another approach. So they quit. They go back to spending everything. And that's exactly why they stay broke. Don't be that person. 5 years in, you're at $36,000. That's real money. That's a down payment on a car. That's an emergency fund that actually protects you. That's freedom you didn't have before. But still not life-changing, right? That's fine. Keep going. 10 years? Now you're at around $80,000. Interest is starting to compound hard. You're making more money on your money than you're putting in. That's when the acceleration starts. 20 years from now, you're sitting on almost $500,000. $480,000. Think about that. 20 years of consistent $500 monthly investments turned into nearly $500,000. You didn't get lucky. You didn't inherit anything. You were just consistent. And here's the insane part. You can accelerate this. What if you bumped it to $750 a month? That same 20-year timeline, you're looking at over $700,000. What if you started at 25 instead of 35? You'd hit millionaire status before 55. That's the magic of this rule. It's not magic, actually. It's math, and math doesn't lie. Now, I know what you're thinking. I can hear the objections from here. Objection number 1. I can't save $500 a month. It's impossible. My life is too expensive. Listen, I get it. But real talk? Are you counting the Netflix, the Disney Plus, the HBO Max? You're probably paying $50, $60 a month on streaming services you don't even watch. Daily coffees? That's $5 a day, $150 a month. Takeout 3 times a week? That's easily $200, $250 a month right there. Subscriptions to apps you forgot you had? You have $500 a month. It's already in your budget. It's just going to the wrong place. The question isn't, can I find $500? The question is, am I willing to stop wasting it? Objection number 2. What if there's a recession, the market crashes, and I lose everything? That's when the real money is made, actually. Historically, downturns create more millionaires than upturns. When everyone panics and pulls out, the smart money is buying cheap. That's Warren Buffett's entire playbook. He got richer during 2008 when everyone else was terrified. If the market crashes 20%, you keep investing. Your money buys more shares at lower prices. When it recovers, and it always recovers, you're sitting on a massive gain. That's how wealth is built. Objection number 3. I can't start with $500. I need to wait until things are better. Okay, I hear you. Things are never better. There's always a reason to wait. There's always a bill coming up or an emergency. So here's what you do. Start with what you can. $50. $100, $20. The amount doesn't matter nearly as much as the consistency. Your brain needs to build the habit. Once the habit is built, you scale it up. But if you wait for perfect circumstances, you'll wait your entire life. The richest people I know didn't start rich. They started small. They started scared. They started with $50 a month. But they started. Here's exactly what you do. Today, not tomorrow, today. These are 5 simple steps. Step 1, audit your spending. Grab your last 3 months of bank statements. Go through them line by line. Categorize everything: food, streaming, takeout, transport, subscriptions, everything. I'm serious. Every single transaction. You'll find money leaking everywhere, guaranteed. Most people have $300, $400, $500 of invisible spending every month. Money they can't explain. It just disappears. This is that money. Go through and flag what's essential and what's not. Be honest with yourself. If you can't be honest here, this entire system fails. Time required? 1 hour. Do it tonight. Step 2, set your savings target. Based on what you found, figure out how much you can realistically save. Can't do $500? Try $250. Can't do $250? Do $100. Can't do $100? Do $50. The number matters less than the consistency. $100 a month for 30 years beats $500 a month for 2 years and then quitting. Hands down. Write it down. Make it real. This is your number. Time required? 15 minutes. Step 3, open an investment account. Vanguard, Fidelity, your bank, a robo-advisor, doesn't matter which one you choose. What matters is that you choose one and open it today. This doesn't require massive research. Any low-cost index fund investing in the S&P 500 or total market will work. Don't overthink this. Analysis paralysis is what kills people's wealth-building dreams. You don't need the perfect account. You need an account, period. Time required? 20 minutes online. Step 4, automate your deposits. This is critical. Set it so money transfers from your checking account to your investment account the day you get paid, the same day, before you even see it in your main account. Why? Because money you don't see, you don't spend. It becomes invisible. It becomes your future instead of your temptation. Once it's automated, you're done. You don't have to think about it. You don't have to have willpower. The system does the work for you. Time required? 5 minutes. Step 5, don't touch it. This is future money, not emergency money, not vacation money, not I want to upgrade my phone money. This is your future. Leave it alone. Let it compound. The biggest mistake people make is raiding their investment account when life happens. When they need money, they take it from here. That's the fastest way to stay poor. If you need an emergency fund, that's separate. Have 3 months of expenses in a savings account. But your investment money, that's sacred. That's off limits. Time required? 0 minutes. It requires discipline, not time. These 5 steps are simple, they're not complicated, and they work. Thousands of people have built wealth following exactly this pattern. I get it. You still have doubts. That's actually healthy. You should be skeptical. So let's talk proof, because this isn't theory. This is historical fact. The S&P 500 has averaged about 10% annually for the past century. Not in good years, on average. Through World War II, through the Great Depression, through 2008, through COVID, through everything. 10% average. You can verify that number yourself. It's public record. Go to Yahoo Finance. Go to any historical database. The data is right there. Now here's what matters. Anyone who invested consistently, not perfectly, not at the best times, just consistently, hit millionaire status. Not maybe, reached it, verified, studied. That's not opinion. That's historical record. Example, someone who invested just $300 a month starting in 1990 would have over $700,000 today. Just $300. That person didn't need a six-figure income. They didn't need to be smart about timing. They just needed to be consistent. Another example, from 2000 to 2020, a 20-year period that included the dot-com crash and the 2008 financial crisis, two of the worst periods in market history, someone investing $500 monthly would have accumulated around $350,000 through two recessions, still made it work. That's the power of consistency and time. And here's what most people completely miss. Once you hit that first 100K, everything accelerates. Your next 100K comes in half the time because now you're earning money on a larger base. Your third 100K, even faster. That's exponential growth, and it's real. When you have 100K invested at 8% average return, that's $8,000 a year your money is making without you doing anything. That's almost a full-time job your money is doing. When you have 500K, that's $40,000 a year your money makes. When you have $1 million, that's $80,000 a year in passive income. That's real freedom. This isn't luck, it's not magic, it's math, and math doesn't lie.
Okay, real talk. Here's my question for you. In 20 years, do you want to be exactly where you are right now? Broke, stressed, worried about money every single day, checking your bank account with your stomach in your throat, one emergency away from disaster. That's not a life, that's a cage. Or do you want to wake up with $300,000, $400,000, maybe $500,000 in the bank, living off investment income, free to make choices based on what you want, not what you need? That's what freedom actually feels like. The difference between those two futures is a single decision you make in the next 5 minutes. One decision. And I'm going to tell you exactly what it is. You're going to hit that like button right now. I know it sounds small, but your brain registers that action. It says, okay, I'm interested in building wealth. I'm taking the first step. The algorithm also notices. It pushes this video to more people who need it. People like your friends, people who are also trapped. Then you're going to drop a comment. Write this, I'm starting today. Because when you say something publicly, your brain takes it seriously. There's science behind this. Public commitments change behavior. You're telling the algorithm, yourself, and everyone reading the comments that you're not messing around anymore. Next, subscribe, because the next video is literally about how to pick your first investment. I'm breaking down index funds, ETFs, what to actually buy, how to avoid mistakes that cost people thousands. You need that information. Then, and this one's important, share this video with one person who needs it. Your friend who's always complaining about money. Your family member who's working 2 jobs and still struggling. Your coworker who's lost hope. Send them this. They'll thank you later. Their future self will thank you. Now here's what I want you to actually do tonight. First, watch this video again if anything was unclear. The concepts are simple, but you need to understand them deeply. Play it at 1.5x speed if you want. Take notes. Pause when you need to. Second, do that audit I talked about. Grab your bank statements. Find that $500 a month or whatever you can. Be honest about it. Third, before you sleep tonight, open an investment account. Seriously,
Don't overthink it. Pick one and open it. It takes 20 minutes. Fourth, set up that automated transfer for the day you get paid next. Make it real. Make it automatic. Fifth, subscribe to this channel if you haven't already and turn on notifications, because I'm releasing a video next week about how to handle debt while building wealth. Because some of you are thinking, but Jax, I have credit cards and student loans. I got you. That video will show you exactly how to juggle both. And look, I know this is a lot. You came here for one rule and I've given you the whole system. That's because the rule doesn't work in isolation. It works as part of a system. Consistency plus time plus investment plus automation plus discipline. All five together. That's what creates wealth. Now, I want to be clear about something. This won't make you rich quick. If you're looking for a get-rich-quick scheme, this isn't it. This is get-rich slow. This is the boring method. This is what millionaires actually do, and most of them would rather talk about anything else because it's not sexy. But it works, and in 20 years, you'll have generational wealth. Your kids will inherit money. Your family legacy changes, and it all started with a single decision to save $500 a month. So here's my final question. Are you going to be different? Or are you going to be like 90% of people who watch something like this, feel inspired for a few hours, and then go right back to the same patterns? The choice is yours. But I'm telling you, your future self is begging you to choose differently. To choose this. To choose the rule that actually works. I'm Jax. This has been the $100,000 rule. And if you implement what we talked about today, your life will fundamentally change. That's not hype. That's math. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. The next video drops next Friday. I'll see you then.